So let's go back to this notion that your life is teaching you things. So Esther's building a new house. She built a new house. She's now in it, and they're still tweaking a few things. And most of it is so just exactly what she wanted. It's just so really, 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 really good. But there are a few things that are still out of whack a little bit. And when Esther looks at the whole of it, it surprises her that the things that are out of whack a little bit are getting an inordinate amount of her attention, because there's so much that is perfect and only a little bit that isn't. And so she's asking herself, so life is sort of training me into response. And so why am I letting the crew that didn't get something just right be the reason for the vibration that I'm offering? Why am I not letting the crews that got so much right be the reason for my vibration? So she's been asking herself that. Maybe it's because I'm solution oriented. She's trying to give herself a way out. Maybe it's because I like to fix problems. Maybe it's because I'm a seeker of excellence. In other words, she's really been asking herself this question. So she was at the beauty salon a couple of days ago and having a conversation with her hairdresser, who is learning about this. Esther's not offering it to her in a really overt way, but Esther said to her a couple of weeks ago, let's play the game. It was the blue glass butterfly story, where you focus upon something and then the universe shows it to you, usually pretty quickly. You know the story? And so now 2 weeks have passed, and her friend is saying to her, oh my gosh, there were so many things I wanted to call you, because I was making lists of things, and then they would show up and they would show up and they would show up and they would show up. Esther so wanted her to get the relationship between what shows up and what she's thinking about, and she was getting it. And then Esther said, what I'm asking myself these days is how I can focus only on what I want to show up and not so much on what's showing up. And I'm also asking myself that when stuff's showing up, why am I choosing the stuff that shows up that I don't like for so much attention? Why am I not more focused upon the things that are showing up that I do want? And really she is, but the things that don't feel good get more of her attention, and yours maybe too. And so her friend said, what do you mean? And Esther said, like the guy that put my gas line in didn't get it right, and it's making noise. And they're in the process of figuring out what the path of least resistance is to fix it. I encourage them to just put new pipes in the process, but they don't seem to want to do that. And so her friend is listening and wanting to get what Esther is saying. And Esther is wanting to explain to her friend and to herself that there are choices of what you give your attention to. And in that moment, a girl walked into the cubicle, and she's the manager of the space that all of these individual people are renting. And she said, the new washing machine is out of order. And Esther's friend said, I know, I was the one that left the note and discovered it. I put a load of clothes in it last night, and it shook so hard I thought the building was going to come down. It shook so hard that it shook right out of its space. I thought it was going to pull the gas line right out of the wall. And then Esther looked at her friend, and her friend looked at Esther, and they laughed right out loud, because once again the universe demonstrated another conversation about the very thing they were conversing about. Her friend said, you're not making this stuff up, are you? And Esther said, the universe is so clever in the way that it shows us where we're at. It shows us where we're at all the time. If you want to know where you're at, there are two ways to know. One is the way you feel, and the other is by what's showing up. And wouldn't it be nice if you could know by the way you feel, so that you could continue to focus upon what you want to show up, rather than waiting for it to show up before you acknowledge what you've been flowing? Because nothing is coming at you that you are not wholly inviting. This is law of attraction. There's no law of assertion. There's no law of assertion. It's all law of attraction, which means every single thing you're getting, you are attracting. And you want to scream, Esther does, that can't be right. That can't be right. I cannot, after all this time of knowing all this stuff and thinking all of these wonderful thoughts, I cannot be responsible for some dumb guy. Some really well-meaning dumb guy. I mean, somebody who means well but isn't paying attention to what he's. Abraham, why does life have to teach me with the dumb guys? Can't I just get what I want? You know, Abraham, if you'd work harder at bringing me what I want, then I would observe only what I want, and then I would offer a vibration only of what I want. Don't you think you guys should work a little harder from the non-physical point of view? And we say, you're the creator of your reality. You are the offer of your vibration. You don't want somebody else messing with your vibration. You want it consistent, and it is. You want law of attraction to be always consistent with you. You want to know by the way you feel what you're doing with your vibration, what you're doing with your emission of thoughts, what you are setting up as your point of attraction. Don't you want to know? And don't you want to feel good? Isn't that the point of life anyway? Don't you want to feel good? So it really isn't difficult at all once you understand that you are the attractor of what comes to you. And of course, when Esther steps back away from the current thing that she's wrestling to the ground and killing, and acknowledges the wonder and wonderment and magnificence of her life experience, she feels like the most blessed person ever. But she's still not letting all the blessings in. She's still not letting in all the things that she deserves, or even most of the things that she wants, because she's still, like most humans, letting life teach her. And by that we mean, and we really want you to hear this, if you are a reactor to what's coming to you, you're not in control of your own experience. But if you are a deliberate offer of your own vibration, you are. Which means simply, you just have to get a head start on it. You just have to wake up feeling good. We know you always do before you remember something that causes you to not. And in that feeling good, then milk it a little longer. Take a walk. Do something nice for yourself. Meditate. Let the vibration of who you really are get a little stronger foothold, so that you are the offerer of a vibration, not the responder or reactor to something else. And when you have control of what you are emanating, and you practice that often enough that you consistently are emanating it, then you are maintaining the vibration of your being, and then everything must react to you rather than you reacting to it. And it does not mean that you're controlling the behavior of others. That's not the point at all. It simply means you're not letting them control you. You're not letting them control your vibration. You are in sync with who you are, and therefore you are dominant. When you connect with who you are, the leverage and energy of that source flowing to you and through you, there are not even words to describe the power of that. And that's why the wonder of your life is so much more than the puny little details that are bugging you. So we know sometimes things are worse than others, and sometimes things are better than others. But it's time for you to gain control of your own vibration. And it's time for you to stop giving others the power of being your scapegoat about why you don't feel good. It's time for you to take control of your own vibration, and then let what comes to you not be a punishment, and not let it be because some dumb person is not doing what they're supposed to do. This isn't a dumb person. This is a cooperative component giving you exactly what you expect. Exactly what you expect. And what's an expectation? A belief. And what's a belief? A thought that you continue to think. It's a habit of vibration that you can change. And sometimes you have to have some contrast in order to bring you to the place that you want to change the habit. Because you're not going to change any habits until the response to what you're offering gets your attention. But when it does, it was just another blessing in disguise. it just looked like something bad happening to you, when really what it was is something really wonderful to get your attention, to remind you of your power of focus, of who you really are. So we know there is not one thing that you would want to talk about beyond that, because that was about everything that you want to talk about. But we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters. We are eager for, if you want to, offer some of the nitty-gritty of your experience. We want you to leave this gathering feeling the empowerment that you were born with, and the empowerment that you deserve, and the empowerment that you are seeking, and the success of life which you are born to live. And by success of life, we don't only mean money. We do mean that. We don't only mean attention and benefit as you interact in the world. We mean the joy of your autonomy, the joy of your connection to your source.